The rise of grant scams in 2025. As inflation continues to squeeze household budgets and financial stress grips many Americans, scammers are exploiting vulnerability like never before. In 2025, a new wave of government grant scams is sweeping across the U.S., preying on unsuspecting citizens with the promise of free money, debt relief, and financial aid. This article breaks down how government grant scams work, what red flags to look for, and how to protect yourself from losing your money or personal information to these fast-evolving schemes. What are government grant scams? Government grant scams are fraudulent schemes where scammers impersonate federal agencies or financial aid providers, offering free grants to individuals, often through phone calls, social media messages, emails, or fake websites. Victims are usually asked to pay an upfront fee or provide personal data in order to receive the so-called grant. Why these scams are booming in 2025? Several factors have contributed to the explosion of grant scams in 2025. Post-pandemic financial strain. More Americans are seeking financial help or government support. Rise in online applications. Scammers take advantage of online systems and fake websites. AI-generated impersonation. Deep-fake voices and AI-powered chatbots now mimic government officials convincingly. Stimulus rumors. False news of new federal grants fuels desperation and urgency. How government grant scams work. Here are the most common tactics used by scammers. 1. Impersonating government agencies. Scammers pose as representatives from Federal Grant Commission, which doesn't exist, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the IRS or Education Department. They often spoof real phone numbers or email addresses to appear legitimate. 2. Fake social media messages. You might receive a message on Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp claiming, "Congratulations, you're eligible for a $10,000 government grant. Click here to claim." These messages often appear to come from a friend or fake government page. 3. Asking for processing or release fees. Victims are told they must pay a processing fee, $100 to $1,000, a tax or clearance charge, a delivery fee to release the grant money. Once paid, the scammer disappears. 4. Phishing for personal data. Scammers will ask you to verify your social security number, bank account details, driver's license or passport, address and date of birth. This leads to identity theft or bank fraud. Real-life example, victim story from 2025. In March 2025, a 66-year-old woman in Texas received a call from someone claiming to be a federal grant officer. The caller promised her a $12,500 grant for being a good citizen, but she had to pay $800 in processing fees. After sending the money via Cash App and Zelle, she never heard from the caller again. Her bank account was later accessed illegally, draining another $2,000. Red flags of government grant scams. You didn't apply, but you won a grant. They ask for payment upfront to receive the grant. You're pressured to act fast or miss out. They contact you via unofficial platforms, like social media or text. They ask for personal or financial info. The organization doesn't exist or has no .gov domain. How to avoid government grant scams in 2025. White heavy checkmark 1. Know the facts. The U.S. government does not give grants for personal use, like paying bills or debts. Real grants are applied for via official government websites like grants.gov. You'll never have to pay upfront fees to receive a real grant. White heavy checkmark 2. Verify before you trust. Search the agency or grant program on Google. Use official sources only, check .gov websites. Contact the Federal Trade Commission (FTC) if unsure. White heavy checkmark 3. Protect your personal info. Never give out your SSN, bank info, or ID to unknown contacts. Use two-factor authentication on your financial and government-related accounts. Monitor your credit reports for unusual activity. White heavy checkmark 4. Report scams immediately. If you're targeted or scammed, report to FTC Complaint Assistant, USA.gov, your local Attorney General's office. Stats to know 2025. Over 120,000 fake grant scam reports filed with the FTC in the first half of 2025. Estimated $88 million loss to grant-related frauds in the U.S. Average victim loss, $1,150. Over 40% of scams originated through social media messages. Top search queries in 2025, SEO Insight. These keywords are trending and relevant. Is the federal government giving free grants in 2025? How to know if a grant is real or fake. Free grant phone call scam. Fake.gov website. Government money scam text message. Grant scam Facebook message 2025. Final thoughts: stay informed, stay protected. In today's digital age, scammers are more sophisticated than ever. If something sounds too good to be true, like free money for doing nothing, it probably is. Always verify offers, stay alert for red flags, and share this information to protect friends and family. Want more scam alerts? White Heavy Checkmark subscribe to our newsletter or channel. White Heavy Checkmark share this article to raise awareness. White Heavy Checkmark drop your questions or experiences in the comments. Page facing up disclaimer. This article is generated by AI for educational and informational purposes only. It is not affiliated with any government agency. Always consult official sources when applying for grants.